My name is Patrick.
I'm Tasha.
I'm Terry.
Oh, yeah, y'all know what it is. Peace and blessings. It's your boy, Gary, and it's all about the melanin, y'all. I got a story coming in right now. This is more about the environmental groups that we all kind of notice and we see in our neighborhoods and actually we see on TV and stuff like that. But I want you guys to understand that there's a different dynamic that comes to these environmental groups. I know that we all are about our planet and we are about our communities, but we have to understand that there is definitely, I don't want to call it systematic, but there is definitely some kind of, there is wouldn't say so much of an effort, but there's an ongoing thing that shows that there is a definitely a neglect that comes towards the black community when it's about these environmental groups. There was a data that came out about 40 of the largest nonprofit environmental organizations in the country. Okay, the top 40 foundations and the grant providers. So these are the ones that, not just the environmental groups, but these are also groups that also get the major funding from the government, right? It shows on average that these groups have added about 6 people of color, 8 women, to full-time staffs between the years of 17 and 2020, and they only added about 2 people of color. Now, let's just say when we talk about color, they're talking about black people, right? We know what they're talking about. They don't necessarily like to just say black, but we know we have to look between the lines. You know, when we talk about, color, minorities, you know what I'm saying? We already know who they're talking about, right? So they said at this time, only 2 women in their senior staff are a person of color. And only one of them was on the board since 2017. I only bring that up to bring it in the home and say that even in these environmental groups, they don't even hire black people, okay? And if their black person is hired, because that's something they'll stand on, they say, oh, we hire black people all the time. There is not what do you call that? Where you can rise. There's not a promotion for a black person that comes into these companies. So you'll never see a black person on the board. You'll not see them in top in top delegating positions, not managerial, because when you delegate, that's a little bit above managerial. Managerial, you know what I'm saying? You kind of just understand this. It's kind of like a game manager. You kind of just make sure everything's copacetic. But when you delegate jobs to people, that's actually like a position of power, and there is no black position of power when it comes to these environmental groups. So I want to make you guys understand that. But again, this is to my brothers and my sisters while we're here. I'm going to broaden this up because the idea is this. It's not just the simple fact that they're not just hiring us. You guys have to understand that in efforts, since the fact that they're not doing that, that means they don't care about the issues that goes into black communities. You know, you have to understand that their drives is not for going into the black communities and helping them with their environmental issues. Didn't we just talk about with the Lloyd Flint?
Not even necessarily their drive, but they're unaware of the struggles in the black community, right? And what to do about it.
Absolutely. I mean, and if you're not even hiring these people to begin with, then of course you will never know, right? You don't even have enough black faces to even see what's even going on in there. So all that still comes into everything because we don't really want to let them off the hook and to say, well, again, if we don't have enough there, then they can't really know what the issues are. But that's just kind of false. We all know who the Greenpeace are. We all know PETA. PETA not too long ago, I think it was like 2017, 2016, they tried to pull I think it was the 15th Amendment on a whale.
Yeah.
On a whale, trying to say a whale for captivity.
Yeah.
So think about the dynamics, how they feel about animals versus black people. So again, here we go. So in a general statement, this is the conversation, y'all. So we all gonna try to chime in. I hope my brothers and sisters come and get on this. The idea is this. So we talk about these environmental groups, Greenpeace, PETA, and all these other ones that are supposed to be out there and helping the planet. But again, they don't come to the black communities and help the black communities that are definitely struggling from environmental issues. We are definitely the ones that are suffering from, like, we come from towers, right? We've had the Flint things with our water. We usually always have a problem with our water.
A lot of us live on Superfund sites. Homelessness
subsidies
is definitely environmental.
Again, and there are not, and the effort is about the whole earth and the entire planet. Are black people not a part of this?
Yeah. And there's even organizations like Oceana and Blue Green Alliance. So it goes even to the ocean. And those organizations are for, along with Greenpeace and everything my brother just mentioned, When I hear things like this, for me, it's just more of the same. The one that sticks out in my head as far as women's rights groups. They're largely white. They largely cater towards women's rights and everything like that, but not for black women. That's why I don't involve myself in women's rights groups because they don't go for black women as they should.
The feminist movement, right?
Where were they for Sandra Bland?
And what did you just say?
The women that for the pool that got slammed to the ground for the pool and stuff, and all the women that got shot. They're not for women. Same thing like these environmental groups and stuff. Okay, they're not really for the black community. A lot of these organizations, we could go on and on and on and about these different ones that don't serve us in many ways.
Right.
So now. Is it racism? I'll call it racism. That's exactly what it is. We're not in the boards. There's no funding. There's no outreach. There's this whole laundry list of things that they don't give to the black community. And it's like, okay, well then here's another situation where we gotta fend for ourselves. That we gotta say, okay, fine, they're not giving it to us, so we have to build something for ourselves. I know recently now, and the different ones topics we talked about, where there's different black people getting together and starting their own communities. They're starting their own towns. Different ones. There's some in Georgia and different ones. Some of y'all read the articles about black people starting their own towns.
Buying their property.
And this is environmental also. Not just in the buildings and the place, but this is environmental. So, okay, we have to, in the beginning, think that, okay, well, if they're not going to help us and this is not going to be a part of anything that we're going to get a benefit from, then we have to know right away that, okay, well, then fuck Greenpeace and everything else, and we do this for ourselves. And wherever black people are, we have to defend ourselves as far as in whatever environmental. I mean, should I bring up Flint? I mean, that's definitely one of it. Yes, there was a political nature to that happening, and they poisoned this black community, but it was environmental for the most part, related to the subject we're talking about. And okay, water is a basic necessity. That's part of it. A lot of these companies are in control of that. They're on a lot of the interest boards. They're on a lot of the special groups, the political special group interests. They give money to boosters and politicians to advocate their needs and their policies and everything they're going to do. Yeah. Their hands is all in it.
Yeah.
So there's no black force in it, and I'm just saying that, okay, well, here's another angle that we as black people have to fight against amongst all the things we have to do separately, amongst all the things, education disparities, environmental disparities, political disparities, religious disparities. I mean, you got to spread all across these board things. Here's another angle. Here's another category that, okay, here is no benefit or safe space for us at all.
Yeah.
We got to handle ourselves. We got to handle ourselves. I mean, I'm just saying.
And I agree with that because for the simple fact that the people that are dealing with some of these, I want to say issues, and I'm going to touch on the subject with the ones that are with the domestic violent ones, because I'm going to say I was the subject to that many, many years ago. Because when you are in that situation and you are crying out for the help, and then you are reaching out to some of these groups and you're like, hey, I need the help. And then they're like, okay, come on, we'll help you. And then you are going out to the groups and they want you to fill out these documents, come out to the organization, and then you're with them for months at a time, year at a time, and then you don't get the help.
Wait a minute, but you're talking about like social services.
No, but I see what she's getting at, though.
Hold on, let me just.
What she's getting at.
One second. But are you saying that like social services actually have some type of racism in them sense too, where they don't come with black?
Absolutely, amongst the environmental thing. That's what she's getting at.
This is we're talking about
environmental.
Environmental. Because he just threw me off.
Sorry.
No, So that has, I don't want to say like a racial thing, but at the same
it's
time,
absolutely a racial thing.
I mean, we could say it's a race thing, but I'm just want to say on a broader spec, because they could still put a black person in your face to help you. You see what I'm saying? And some of those still black faces still work with the white people at the same time. Yeah. But it still hurts you too when they still put that same black person in your face to help you. Still in the same token, you still don't get that help. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the article said that they have want to hire one or two black people to facilitate their whole thing,
exactly.
But it's not enough.
And you still don't get that help.
Yeah.
But still bring on to when you have another community, right? Like we said in Georgia, they're building that same community. Like, you know what? Let's come over here and we're going to help our people because we know that we see these people really need the help because these other organizations are really here not to help you. You see what I'm saying? Because just like I was saying before, is that when we know that those other organizations are really there not to help you, we have somebody over here that's really here to help you.
Yeah.
Because just like I was saying, I had been that type of person before many, many years ago when I had been there and I seen that inside world. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go there, you fill out these paperwork, you sit there, you do this, you do that, and you see that these people are really there not to help you.
So
it's more
I
of an
see where you're
inside.
getting
They
at,
just
so-
want to be in your business.
Yeah.
You do that, you do this, you do that, and you're more of helping them.
Yeah.
You do their footwork, and you get nothing.
So that's what we say. Well, we expect these organizations to do their work across the board. They're supposed to be
Yeah.
unbiased
Right.
in a lot of ways.
Exactly.
They're supposed to be unbiased. Like, okay, if environment,
Right.
and they think that environment is supposed to be for everybody and stuff. They
It's
promote
a
these type of
basic
things.
need,
Supposed to be
environment,
things.
right,
And there shouldn't be
yeah.
a racial
Right.
idea behind the whole everything you guys are
Right.
promoting.
Right.
But there is, because there's just that isn't. They're not supposed to be that. So with all these organizations,
It's just for
I
themselves.
expected that I'm supposed to be included.
Yes,
in
they're all
everything you
just
guys
for
are
themselves.
selling.
Yes, it's all just for
But no,
themselves.
nothing. That we get a check. It's like black people, we get a check or a hit back or whip. Like, okay, no, yeah. There's something general that we think everybody's supposed to be included in, but not you. It's like we always get a whip. And then we're checked, and we kind of get a
discrepancy.
surprise, like, oh,
Yes.
because we do assume that you're being human,
Right.
you're being humanitarian. Black people are included in humanitarianism, isn't it? We should be included in humanitarianism, shouldn't we?
Well, not,
But I guess
well,
not.
We should be no,
But I
not by
guess
their
not.
logic.
Exactly.
Yes.
Not by that
All
logic.
these organizations
There's
for
racism
themselves.
permeates in every single category that you can think about. That's
Well,
why some
all
people
of
don't
the
want.
facets.
Like black people don't. Okay. I just hit something. A lot of black
go
people don't
ahead.
think that. That's a problem. We think that no, there's not racism here. No. Our system is literally saturated, and this is what is saturated. Like you put water in a sponge.
Yeah.
It's saturated with racism all across the board. We cannot exclude it from anything we do here.
Yeah.
If a cat walk across the street, I have to think there's something racist with that.
Yeah, that's right.
You get what I'm saying?
But you know how? I mean, of course. I mean, like I said. Even in grocery stores, I told you about that. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Or analogy. It doesn't matter where we go. A lot of people want to sit here and say that. Especially with black people, they was gonna say, "Oh, we put race in everything." Oh, black people was gonna talk about race and everything.
How can
But-
you not?
But
exactly,
I mean,
exactly,
that's the
sis.
question.
Exactly, sis.
And that's what it is. And you know what I'm saying? And that's when it comes to black people that understand what's going on in this country.
They
Because
think
you
we
can't.
crazy.
Everything is racist in everything. That comes a part of the 9. Well, it's something we ain't talk about just yet, but y'all just keep on tuning in because y'all know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
9 points
This
of
is just the
society
PM
to
hour,
survive.
and it's just like as it comes. You know what I'm saying? We trying to come out there, and it's like, as my sister already says, y'all should be woke already. You feel what I'm saying? This is the type of stuff that we already should be already thinking about. So this is just nothing new. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have our podcast, and I'll let y'all know out there that we will be letting these different subjects come out and again. But on a whole. Just kind of want to, just kind of summing up everything. But the idea is this, you know what I'm saying? We have to understand that it's not an effort, you know what I'm saying, on other people to care about what's going on in our communities and what's up in our diaspora. We have to put that there. That's one of the reasons why we built this show, but that's another reason why we always talk about these articles. This is not just something that we just want to do to just put out there. I mean, this is knowledge. We're trying to get everyone to think about what's going out there because they don't care about us, and we see that already. Not even the simple fact of just getting us clean water, clean air. You know what I'm saying? The basic necessities that my older sister always talk about.
Yeah.
Basic necessities, they don't even want to give that. It's like you said. I mean, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that y'all want to live on this planet too? y'all need basic necessities too?
Yeah.
But y'all don't feel pain. Y'all good, right? You know what I mean? Y'all
Right.
made it through slavery. Y'all should be fine.
Right.
So
As
let's
far
just
as
put it
they're
out there,
concerned.
man. I need all y'all to just comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
We're on all
Please
the
tune
majors:
in.
iHeartRadio,
It's the PM Hour.
Spotify,
You know
Apple
what I'm saying?
Podcasts, and
Please
Google Podcasts.
share our
everywhere.
videos. Y'all know what it is. Share our videos and
Distributing
just know what it
everywhere.
is because it's all that comes from the diaspora. It's just Pan-African, man. And one love, man. Shout out to everyone. Peace.